With the implementation of new technology, the U.S. beef industry is now providing consumers with a more consistent eating experience. Grading cameras have been approved and are now being successfully utilized in a number of U.S. packing plants. Reporter Brian Baxter takes us to Cargill Meat Solutions in Dodge City, Kansas, for a closer look at this exciting technology.
For more than 80 years, beef carcass grading has been done by trained human graders. To help keep up with growth and the demand for instantaneous data transfer, those same people are now using vision grading cameras. It's the culmination of a 20-year effort by government, academia, and industry.
The camera then almost virtually instantaneously measures the ribeye, measures the thickness of fat. It knows the hot carcass weight from the computer system that was actually measured on the harvest floor. It then, within the traced ribeye, is measuring the amount of marbling. And so it takes all of that information, compiles it just as a human grader would do, and then puts out a recommendation of prime, choice, select, no roll, what yield grade, and whether or not it should be considered for a branded beef program.
Grading is extremely important. It serves as a price discovery mechanism and also helps pass valuable production information back through the industry.
There's two major kinds of grades that the USDA or that get used in the industry. One is for the basis of how much red meat would be utilized out of a carcass, and that would be a yield grade. The other grade would be quality grade, or more in reference to how the expected palatability or the taste of how that beef will be.
Producers should be concerned about how their cattle are grading because consumers expect beef to be great tasting time after time. Marbling is associated with a positive eating experience. The higher quality of the beef we produce, the better prices we can receive for our products, and the more repeat purchases we can anticipate in the future.
One of the biggest advantages of moving to the camera-augmented grading system is to improve grading consistency. The more consistent the grade application, the more transparent the marketplace will be within the industry.
USDA sees the addition of instrument grading as an important step toward enhancing an already highly effective USDA beef grading program administered by our Meat Grading and Certification Branch. This technology allows USDA beef grades to be applied more consistently on a nationwide basis, regardless of plant size or location.
It's going to lend a big help to those guys that on premium cattle. You know, a lot of producers, that's what they strive for, that they get their data back for their herds, regardless of their selling bulls. Now they can say, there's data out there to tell them exactly how their cattle perform using their bulls. And I think going forward, that's going to be a big help to those guys.
Not only will consistent grading help producers make better management decisions, it will also help increase consumer demand for beef.
It also then should give the consumer confidence that the beef that they're buying is graded and the quality that it's stamped on there is actually what it is. And so hopefully in the end it should help us sell more high quality beef.
Getting rid of the variables goes back to the consistency of the product. If the consumer has a good experience every time they eat a certain quality of steak and it's repeatable, then our product will be better accepted, and repeatability of experience in consuming beef has been a problem.
With so much hinging on the appropriate grades being calculated and recommended, it's important to have each of the grading cameras properly calibrated and meeting certain standards.
Instrument grading is being implemented on a plant-by-plant basis. This implementation strategy allows plants and USDA to collectively ensure systems are operating accurately. USDA graders utilize officially established procedures for ensuring proper instrument performance and augmenting of the official grading process.
Government oversight is obviously still very much a part of this program. They're there for the validation and calibration steps that start up at every shift. They're there for full-term oversight as the camera's being placed, as the recommendations are coming out. They make sure that everything's in sync.
Even though grading cameras use advanced technology to recommend grades, they aren't perfect. Vote says that human USDA graders can override the system on a carcass-by-carcass basis.
If something does not look right on an image, a grader has the ability to manually, what we call traditionally, grade a carcass as is done before instrument grading. They can change the grade on a touchscreen, and that grade then gets assigned to that carcass.
Cattlemen and USDA say they're confident in the new technology and believe that using it will ultimately bring value to the beef industry.
It was obvious in the tour today that those checks and balances will be in place, then the USDA graders will still be involved and keep the system workable.
By being more objective with the electronic and instrument grading, we believe that it will be more accurate, that it will be the same cattle will grade the same way in all plants within a company as well as across the country.
Through improving already established grading programs and researching new initiatives and approaches, we may better explain and classify product attributes that allow preferences to be categorized and then communicated in a manner that benefits all.
It's been a long road getting this technology fully implemented, but it's an effort the entire industry can be proud of.
I think it's very exciting that the Beef Checkoff program provided the seed money for the initial research on instrument grading, and then industry took that seed money and leveraged it and developed the technology, and today we're seeing it implemented in at least 2 companies in our country. And I think the producer can feel really good that there's an example of his checkoff dollars being spent where they're going to benefit from it.
Reporting from Dodge City, Kansas, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
Now that vision grading cameras are operating live at full line speeds, it won't be long until more packing plants begin to use the technology. For additional information on instrument grading and how it's being used, visit cattlemantocattleman.org.